What's up everybody, welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video here on the markets today, but also for this weekend. Just in general what's going on, so we'll talk a little bit about Dogecoin as well. I think that's interesting. I think XRP is still very interesting, so we'll talk about that. The Trump meme coin, of course, we'll talk about that. We'll do a bit of an update on what's going on. If you watched the video this morning, you would have expected this, and well, I would actually say that it went exactly as expected, so great. But we'll talk about that and altcoins in general, but most altcoins right now are actually not doing much, and they're very correlated with Bitcoin. So if we're talking about Bitcoin, talking about altcoins. Before we get into that, if you don't know, I have my own signal group, which is more than a signal group, but it's filled with profitable signals. Last week was amazing, made a lot of profit, a lot of profitable trades. And only one losing one. We don't only win, of course, but the win rate was like 80 something percent. But later this evening, if you actually join in the next 3 hours, we're also going to do a member special live stream about Fibonacci retracement, where you can also chime in, etc. If that sounds interesting, if you want to become a better trader, better investor, and actually get profitable signals as well, consider joining. I would say we have the best group in the entire crypto space. But then again, I don't know all groups. But for now, let's get right into it. So my thoughts on Bitcoin are still the same, all right? For multiple reasons. First of all, a possible sell the news effect after the Trump inauguration. But also the lack of volume for Bitcoin, not only today, because today obviously it's the weekend, so the volume drops down, but also the volume over the last 2 days. Which in my opinion was too low for this to be a real breakout, and my worries about the fundamentals. So for example, the USDT dominance being at support right here, but also the S&P 500 having all these gaps to the downside it has to fill, and the dollar cent index closing relatively bullish, makes me believe that it's most likely that we're going to get some sort of a bigger pullback for Bitcoin. Now, what I said this morning, like I said, I still think is most likely, and that is that we'll see a pullback into this level right here at 98,000. And I do, look, I'll keep you updated on that. I do think from there's a possibility that if we get a strong bounce, that from there we get a real breakout. All right, so I don't fully know whether we are going to drop back all the way back down to the bottom of the range. For me, that depends on the reaction. But short term, I do expect bearish momentum from crypto here, which it feels like I'm one of the only ones saying that. So hopefully I'm wrong, to be completely honest with you. But like I said, for the reasons I've given earlier, that's what I think. And the markets right now are completely about the Trump coin. Now, personally, and I know this might not be popular in crypto, but I think this is ridiculous. The president launching a coin, a meme coin, there's absolutely no value to this, has a market cap of 26 billion, they dropped it down a bit, but $20 billion fully diluted valuation. And if you actually check out the tokenomics, I mean, a lot of these tokens go to insiders. I mean, I think if this was launched by anyone else but Trump, this would have been called the biggest scam in the markets. And because Trump launches it, it's amazing. But personally, I think we're going higher, all right? So I won't let my personal thoughts about this coin and its influence on the crypto markets, because I don't think this is positive for the markets as a whole this year. I do still think we'll get into a bigger bull market, but still, I mean, long term, I don't think this is positive for the image of the markets. But I do still expect us to get into $30. And if from $30 we can actually hold this bullish structure we have right now and not get a bearish breakout, I think we're going higher as well. So I do think we are going higher and we can rally higher, but ultimately this is not something I'm touching for now. But those are my thoughts. And other altcoins, like XRP and XLM earlier today actually were quite strong. This morning, what I said in this video, like I'm going to make a lot of enemies, which I don't like, but I just have to be honest, right? I cannot help it. But what I said earlier this morning is that XRP actually looked quite weak. We were losing momentum, we were losing volume. We had somewhat of a bearish breakout right here below 3.25 and 3.2. I actually will stick with that, even though I think XLM and XRP are relatively strong here and are outperforming the markets. I think it's most likely that will drop down lower first before we actually have a chance to find support, gain some new momentum, and rally up higher. And Dogecoin, kind of similar. Dogecoin, I do think, has a little bit more potential here as long as we're holding 39.5 cents. But this also has a lack of momentum, lack of volume, because most of the volume and most of the liquidity is being pulled in by the Trump meme coin. So maybe if this starts to drop down, maybe then we will actually see liquidity come back in for Dogecoin. And I do think it's most likely still that this is going up. But the potential is severely reduced as long as Trump is rallying. And outside of that, there's not a lot of altcoins. I mean, Ondo today was quite volatile because of token unlocks and a lot of shorts being opened, etc. So if you want volatility, then that might be an interesting coin. But outside of that, there's really not much to focus on and to trade, I would say. And I think in general, trading this weekend is very high risk. And personally, I am, so far at least, not doing it. Because it's going to be very volatile, right? Sunday is going to be volatile. Monday is for sure going to be volatile. Could be bullish, could be bearish. Hard to say. I will keep you updated on that. But for now, those are my thoughts on the markets, some of the biggest coins, and what I think you need to know for today. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all in my next videos, and bye.